Hello and welcome to this week's YouTube vlog from Barton All Burner Services. I hope we're all okay this week, and thanks for everyone as always for subscribing. We've got like 520 odd subscribers now, so we're over the moon. And the comments last week, fantastic, probably some of the best comments we've ever had. So thank you so much for that. We love it. We love the comments. We like to interact with everybody. Yeah, great, fantastic, thank you very much. So moving on to this week's vlog, it's about 5:30 in the evening, and I thought I'd take you on a couple of breakdowns with me that have come in today. I've left them till the end of the day because they're slightly closer to my house. So they're only like 20 minutes apart and then like 20 minutes from my house, and they're slightly interesting. So one is a Warmflow, lost all its pressure. The customer pressurized the system and it doesn't work. I think I know what that is, but I'll explain that when it comes to you. It's got some funny lights have come up on the panel. Yeah, so I think I know where I'm going with that one. And we've got a Grant Blue Flame as well. It's under warranty, but it's trying to fire but won't fire. It's not locking out. It just keeps trying to refire all the time. I've got an idea that might be control box. I would imagine we've had a few go on them as well. So it's under warranty. Hopefully I've got the part of my van for that, because I can't ring them this time of night. But at the same point, I need to get my customer warm again. So yeah, so that's where I'm going to take you on a little evening journey, as they say. And I hope you enjoy the vlog. And well, I better start driving and crack on. So over to the vlog. Here we have a very, very ill Warmflow boiler. I believe the customer is having it changed. This is the first time we've been here. As you can see, the balanced flue hose is missing. It's got lots and lots of leaks all over it. It's actually got an issue on here because it's not working. You can see that the flexible oil line is beside the boiler, just there. The condense goes uphill. Quality. The condense isn't even in there properly. Wrong expansion vessel. It carries on. Anyway, I just want to show people on a Warmflow, if you ever get this fault, if I do that, see you've got them lights on there, okay? That means it's low on pressure, so it needs pressurising. However, people get caught out. So if I pull this vessel out, like so, it's also got the wrong gauge on it. However, if you look, even though it's upside down, there is nearly 1.5 bar of pressure in there. Okay, what it is Warmflow, one of the only people that do it, and it's ridiculous. Okay, you can see there's a filling loop, okay, and it goes into the top of the expansion vessel. So to pressurize this boiler, the filling loop obviously fills to here. That obviously pressurizes the expansion vessel, but at the same time there's the vessel hose that goes up, around, and goes onto there. What they do is they block. So basically, you've got 2 bar or 1.5 bar pressure here, but it's not getting into the boiler. So even though it's reading pressure, there's nothing in the boiler. And the way to check it, because I've got to change it anyway, if you turn that, absolutely nothing's coming out the pressure relief valve. Nothing at all, okay? Nothing. So we know that that's blocked, that hose, and that's the reason that's not working. So I'm just going to have a little strip down, and then yeah, I'll come back to you. The first thing I've done is I've isolated it. God knows, don't even ask any questions what that way goes all about. I've got no idea. This thing is a piece of junk. The only reason I'm doing this and getting this going is purely to give the customer some hot water back, because as I say, they're having a new boiler in a couple of weeks, so that's why I'm doing it. Okay, otherwise I wouldn't bother. So here we go. One filling loop turned off there. This is a non-return valve. It's like a one-way valve, so with a bit of luck we'll undo this, and hopefully, there we go. So I'm just going to check that, and it's stopped dribbling now. Okay, so yeah, that's not letting by, so that's a good start. Okay, so we're going to tuck that out of the way because it will still dribble a bit, like so. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to undo the main pressure vessel hose here. There'll be nothing in this part of it, because this is where the boiler is blocked, or this hose is blocked, but there still would be some residual pressure in this vessel. So I'm just going to crack it undone now. We're going to see where we're at. Just cracked the vessel hose undone. There is a lot of pressure in there, but this pressure is literally in the vessel. It isn't in this pipe at all. So we're just waiting for it to drop down, which could take a couple of minutes. It's actually starting to do it already, so I'm just going to be a bit brave, because we all love to be brave. No, maybe not. We're a bit splashy there. Look, I'm going to put my hand over that. There we go. Right, we'll just give it 5 and I'll come back to you. Right, vessel hose off. However, I'm just going to show you here. Look how dirty it is in there. It's absolutely filthy. Look at the water. It's a browny gooey colour. So we know that this system is full of rubbish. If I look in there, there's your culprit straight away. Totally and utterly blocked. This is, like I keep saying to you, is a temporary fix. I'm just going to put a hose in here. This is empty. Okay, I'm just going to poke down there and check it and make sure there's some pressure in it. But I think probably we're going to leave this part of it and just change the vessel hose to save the customer some money, and then make sure it pressurises fars into life, and then yeah, they'll be happy. But yeah, honest to God, this thing is absolutely terrible. Okay, I've got up on here now. Okay, this is the other end of the vessel hose. I cracked it undone. I'm just loosening it. And it should prove, he says nervously, the boiler has got nothing in it. This end seems to be alright, but if I blow it, absolutely, well, that wasn't very nice. Absolutely fire. Marvellous. That went in my mouth. Fantastic. So, I'm going to change the PRV anyway, because they'd said that a plumber had been around recently and it had been dribbling by there. So, obviously, they've done a lot of messing around. So, I have bought one, so I'm going to change that as well. Just change that hose only, and then we're going to go from there. Right, I've dropped forward a little bit because the customer's been coming in and out a little bit. So, I've got to speed this one up a bit, to be honest. So, pressure relief valve. I actually have left it. I've removed it. It's the wrong type. This has normally got a male thread on it that goes straight into the boiler, but this one's a female thread. It's an aftermarket one. But someone's wound a 1/2 inch bush into the top of the boiler in brass and totally rounded it off, so I can't move it. So I've managed to sort of fiddle around with the PRV, and I think I've got it now. Or I'm about to find out anyway. Obviously, new vessel hoses in to there. I've checked the expansion vessel. That's absolutely fine. I know it's the wrong one. It's designed for a grant, actually. But like I say, this is going, this boiler. So this is all just a temporary. My job is to get someone out of trouble, get them warm, heating, hot water. And then I write them a CD14 with all the things that's wrong with it. It's got a fire valve. Everything else is safe on it. So I will just, yeah, it will be staying running this. So I'm just going to go through something now that I don't know. I'm hoping people know, but it did catch me out once until I actually won Warmflow. And what it is when this light is on the boiler, which I'll show you in a minute, like I explained, it's because of the pressure is not in the boiler. If you ever service one of these boilers and you find what actually happens is you service it, turn the power off, like you say, fire isolation, and turn it on, and the light comes on, and it's got pressure in it, and you know it's in the boiler, i.e. if you nick the PRV or a pipe undone, then there's a reason for that. And what it can be, and it only happens occasionally, but as I say, I've been caught out, is that the only way to overcome that is to take all the pressure out of the system, and then it sort of resets a pressure switch. Once it's sort of reset, you then put the water back in again. But Warmflow told me to do it really slowly, and they're right, you do. If you do it really fast, you can catch it out. So you do it really slowly. And when you get up to like 1.5 to 2 bars, suddenly the boiler goes, hey, I'm going to work now. And that's what happens. So in the case of this one, I'm just going to plug it back in now because this is actually a breakdown. If I can get up there, and it's still there. You can see I've connected it all back to the hose again. I'm going to slowly put the water in now. And as you can see, it's slowly going up. But at the same time, it's also going into the boiler. And the reason I know it's going into the boiler is because I can hear the auto air vents, and that's why. Yeah, and if you lift the PRV slightly, you can hear it. Like I say, you shouldn't keep lifting the PRV, but we have no choice in this case. So we're just going to watch it go up. It's at 1 now. As I say, I'm doing this really, really slowly. And then what we'll find in a minute, hopefully, when we get up towards the 1.5 to 2, is I'm hoping that that light is basically going to go out. I can increase it slightly. Okay, so we're about half speed now. Okay, we're over the 1 bar mark. You have to be really, really patient. I don't know, it seems a bit like boring because I'm sort of making a big point about this, but you will see exactly what I mean. And there you go. It is so important to do it in that order. If you don't do it in that order, it won't work. If you turn the boiler off and then pressurise it and then go from there, I found it not to work. You physically got to see that light go out. So as you can see, it's all running now. I'm just going to warm it up and see what happens. It sounds like a total piece of junk as well. It's running terrible. But the most important thing is that it's up and running again now. And while it's actually warming up, I just want to show people the overview of Warmflow Combi. So you've got the vessel, which I've gone through. So best it to go back. It won't even hang on that bracket because it's totally the wrong thing basically. So it's resting where it shouldn't rest, but it is empty. There's your filling loop. It's kinking, can't do a lot about that. But there is obviously your new vessel hose that is not kinked. 2 pumps on this one heating and 1 hot water. Okay, obviously they come on independently of each other and do what they've got to do. And there's your plate heat exchanger here, and there's your mixer valve here. These mixer valves are prone for leaking. Nightmare to seal sometimes, prone for leaking here as well on the heat exchanger. There is your flow switch here. Obviously you turn the flow switch on, it powers the pump and it powers and fires the boiler if necessary. And then we go up here, obviously you've got your normal auto air vents. The thing that makes me laugh about this is, how's that condenser going to work? Marvellous, isn't it? You can't even do anything with it. It's in totally the wrong place. It should really be sort of sitting in a better place and go down. But it's the most amazing piece of rubbish I've seen for a long time. Magnetic filter, not even straight at an angle, so that's not working either. So yeah, I suppose they've had to go at earthing it. Oh no, it's not connected. So there we go, filter down there. You're not going to get your hand on that very easy, but hey, it has got an isolation valve, and as I say, it's got fire protection covering. Just absolute mess. But anyway, it's warming up nicely now. My priority is done. It is running. It's doing what it's going to do. I might just stick a kit in it to make sure it's not going mad on that, so it's sort of safe, because obviously there's no balance fluids on it either. And yeah, we'll go from there. So my next one, I've just moved this out of the way. The customer's already pulled the front of the boiler. Quite blue flame boiler. Okay, and it's playing up, not all the time, just some of the time. So if we look in the front, it's got a digital box on this one, and I'll turn it on. As you can see, you'll see a series of lights come up in a minute on the burner. Right, so we're off. So what this boiler actually does is it goes for a little while, and then in a minute, I don't know, it could be in the next 5 seconds or whatever, I'm not sure. Or like there, it's just done it now, look. And then all of a sudden, what it actually starts to do is, so then it will then go dead, and then again, okay? And then it might go this time, it might not go this time. And it keeps flashing, and for some reason, it then just suddenly drops out as if you've just sort of like turned the power off to it. You know, it's done it again now. It might do this twice, it might do it 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, and then it will actually fire into life. So you can see it's actually going a little bit longer this time. So with a bit of luck, we've actually managed it. No, we haven't managed it this time. So this is a typical digital control box problem. We've had quite a few Grand Blue Flames do this. This has got a digital photo cell on it, but it's slightly different to the normal digital ones on like Firebirds and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to change this control box, and hopefully that will fix it. As you can see, this time it wants to go perfect, so it's working. No, it's not working this time. Okay, so hopefully it'll do another reboot, and this is what keeps happening. So it keep going and trying, and eventually it will keep running. So as you can see, I'm thinking that's pretty much a control box failure. One blue Flame RDB, so it's an RDB with a longer blast tube, and the idea is the flame's coming out here. It then creates round the air, causes the venturi here, and then it creates a blue flame. Very long story short, that's how it works. And then that glows and it gets absolutely red hot in the boiler, and that's basically how it works. Okay, that's a very basic version. It's more complicated than that, but I'm just doing very basic stuff. So in here, I just want to bring your attention, there's a control box I'm changing. I want to bring your attention to this. This is a digital, like optical style cell. It's a bit different to a normal digital RDB cell. And what you need to do when you pull it, you must pull it out on the grommet. It's so important. So I pull them out and I mark them straight away, and I'll tell you for why. There's the grommet. There is the actual cell. This one's been marked before by the looks of it. Okay, I found out an error after a service. We had a few that intermittently locked out. This piece here is adjustable. I have got the exact distance from here to the end of the optical part here, but I can't think what it is off the top of my head, if I'm really honest. I can find out if anyone wants to know, but it's really important that that distance is set correctly. This part clicks backs and forwards this grommet. If it's clicked forward one too many or back one too many, you get intermittent lockout, and I have been caught out. So that's really important. I'm just going to change this. Okay, if this was a Firebird and it was doing the same, because it happens on Firebirds as well, I would actually change the other style RDB digital photocell as a match pair. But in this case I'm not, because these are normally bulletproof as long as you got this bit right like I explained. Okay, I'm just going to change it and we'll see what happens. I've just undone the top of the control box and I'm just showing you all the wires here. Make sure you safely isolate it. In this case I've done this. Okay, so that's your mains in there. You've then got a motor lead in there, which is fine. That's like a reset on some models, but as you can see it's just blanked off there. And there's your coil, and that is your digital style photocell. Okay, they just unplug, and then obviously I'll take the control box off and I'll show you the next bit. I've undone the two grub screws that hold the box on, one there, okay, and now it moves. However, I'm just going to flick it over quickly. I've had to take the coil off as well, and this is important. This isn't just a control box. On these, it's a transformer like on all RDBs as well. So if you flip back, be very careful. There's your two HT leads as well for your spark on your electrode, the other end. Okay, so you've just got to very carefully remove them without breaking them as well. So when you change these, don't just yank the box off, because obviously you've got that behind. Control box on, okay, all done. Photocell or light detector or optical salve, whatever you want to call it, is back in again. Just bring your attention to this, the blast tube. Always check them. Okay, we've had a few that split down the bottom here because of the excessive heat. It's always worth just keeping an eye on them. This one's still under warranty, so if it's to split, it would be covered, because I've done one the other day. Also, this control box is under warranty, so I'll be claiming that back tomorrow, because obviously it's quite late in the day now. So I'm going to stick it back together and let's see if it runs. So the new box comes already locked out, so we know it's working. We're going to push, count to 2. We're going to let go. Okay, here we go. We're going through the same cycle as before. But this time we're hoping it's actually going to fire and keep going. So in the next 5 to 10 seconds. Just on the pre-purge now. Away it goes. Solid green light. And as I've shown you before in other videos, that means it's a good stable flame. It's been detected correctly and we're all good to go. And it's still going. It hasn't flashed orange. We're up and running. So it was simply a faulty control box. Something else to look out for as well on these boilers is just make sure that when you put the leads back in the control box and you push it back and screw it back down into position again, the HT leads don't get in the way of that light cell. Otherwise it can cause you another intermittent lockout. So a little top tip from me there. Okay, so I'll go and tell the customer this one's up and running after I've sat with it another 5 minutes. About 9 o'clock now. I think that's me done for the night. So yeah, off home I think now. So that's it everyone, another YouTube vlog done for Button All Burner Services. As you probably worked out, it's actually the next day now. I was too tired to do an outro, and I'll be totally honest, it was only when we've come to edit it we realised we haven't done one. So yeah, both them jobs were quite straightforward. Really happy. Feel free to subscribe, comment, we love a comment. So from me, have a good weekend everyone. As we can see, we're approaching Christmas, tree in the background, we're loving it. So until next week everyone, stay safe.